Good evening everyone and welcome to the Showdown Series 5 pre-show. For one last time before the road to SSI gets underway, all of our players are going to come together and try to prove themselves in the server. It's an open game with plenty of challenges, but only one can emerge victorious, and in the Showdown Series, anything can happen. Quite a few things have changed since the last time we've played, so let's kick things off with the first thing you're all going to see when you load in, the brand new season, Operation Twin Shells.
Times change, though. And so have I. Now I'm twice as dangerous.
Before we get into the new operator, let's talk about some balancing changes. An operator we saw bought consistently in Showdown Series 4 was the KB, with her first wave of nerfs is here. The logic bombs will no longer both be primed at the start of a round, instead requiring players to wait 45 seconds for the first call to become available and a further 45 for the second call. In terms of the Showdown Series, this nerf will definitely have sort of mixed impacts. There could be a still incredibly versatile operator, bringing strong weapons that are viable at all ranges, good secondary utility, and the ever-potent camera hacking ability. So on maps that tend to play a bit slower, so your Nighthaven Labs and Skyscraper, I don't think it's going to affect her pick rate much. Attacks might slow down slightly, but it's not going to be enough to stop her being picked. Meanwhile, on the fast maps, I reckon she might be swapped out for operators with a bit more immediate roam clearing utilities, such as a Lion, Jackal, or a Deimos, should he ever survive a map ban phase. Nook also received a buff this season, where her ability will now only drain when she does an action that causes a visual glitch, and what this essentially means is that you can spend the entirety of the round walking around, and her ability will never run out. This is going to be huge for Nook, and will definitely benefit anyone who likes that sort of stealthy sort of lurking playstyle. The biggest change of all is our brand new operator, Scopos. Scopos controls two robotic shells, and with the simple press of a button she can switch between the two, effectively allowing her to be in two places at once. Don't mistake this for having two lives, however, as if the active shell's health is reduced to 0, she will be eliminated just like any other operator in the game. And finally, a bit of a meta change. Shields. Shields fucking everywhere.
1v2. Both players low, but the Monty still survives. Plat not confirmed. This is winnable, but Cairo goes for him.
He can come behind you guys.
Good one,
That's one.
I'm just playing Monty. Zach, take your one, Zach. Yeah. Last one, catch. Not me.
Monty ban. Is that going to be a consistent throughout the season for you guys?
We can't handle with it. I don't know. Like you know when you play and your teammates said like we can't play versus this operator. This operator is like
Fired off, Monty'd off. Not let them through. You shall not pass.
It's a horrible position to be in, isn't it?
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
I don't know what to say. Like when he's coming, you don't understand what you need to do. The only counter, in our opinion, is C4 from below.
But it's coming already. I mean, that's it. Get yourself locked in. He's moved onto the brick, so he can't quite be got from underneath. There's got to be a reaction. The EMP doesn't catch the C4. It does. Beautifully played and placed, and that is the way you roll them.
You can't like do anything to the face on him. You can't do anything. Like what you can do? Big flash every round, but your team like what? How?
Before we dive further into the expectations of Showdown Series 5, let's have a quick recap of Showdown Series 4. Of course, we need to talk about the elephant in the room, that being Connor coming out of absolutely nowhere and dethroning our back-to-back champion in Sam. Both had incredible personal performances on the night, however Sam really struggled to find success with his teammates, which caused rounds to be lost and giving Connor lots of opportunities to close out games. And that's not to take away from Connor's performance, however, as he continued to outbrain and outthink the competition as we've come to expect of him. But this time he came in with the absolute aim of a demon, winning gunfights left, right and centre, and you combine that with some of the best game sense we have in the competition, and well, you have a title-winning player. Looking to the other side of the table, Corey had the expected performance, I think. Flashes of brilliance with impactful kills when he was needed the most, to be able to get some rounds over the line. However, as is often with Corey, consistency is a bit of a problem, so pushing games over the line becomes a bit of a challenge. It tended to be a bit of a case of go big or go home, with not a lot of rounds sort of ending up in the middle. Eric shared a similar tale, with some great highlight moments where his mechanical skill spoke for itself. However, a lack of siege experience and game sense sort of led to some questionable decision making during late rounds, which cost him dearly. Showdown Series 4 was also the debut of our brand new map pool, and we got to see two maps make their debut in the Showdown Series. The first was Skyscraper, showing itself to be a slower, more strategical map, where extended sight holds a king with the top two floor sites being preferred. It proved to be moderately balanced between the two sides, not particularly favouring one or the other. Secondly was Outback, an aggressive map with a lot of early engagements and round-defining flanks from defensive teams. It was little surprise that the defence dominated here, with poorly paced attacks and missed drones being heavily punished by lurking players. Now, there's not been a lot of practice ahead of tonight, so I don't think we're going to see any massive surprise performances, and things will likely play out similarly to how they did in Showdown Series 4. I think it's still likely to be a battle between Sam and Connor for first place, and truthfully, I think the winner will be dictated in the map vetoes. Sam's strength often comes from an intricate knowledge of maps, and a level of game sense unmatched by anyone else in the competition. And I'm not denying that he knows every map in the map pool, however I don't think the depth of knowledge is quite the same across everything in the map pool. It's no secret that Sam likes what we'd consider more classical maps, such as Oregon and Clubhouse, and if the map vetoes steer that way to those places where he's stronger, I reckon he's got Showdown Series 5 in the bag. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things, Connor's game sense comes from improvisation. He's most dangerous when he's forced into a corner and forced to work with what's available. I think on maps where we're still feeling the water and the concrete pale hasn't quite been set yet, that's where I think he excels, and these sort of experimental style of matches he's likely to take. So my advice to teams is to look ahead in these map bans, look into the pool and see where you want to try and get the map veto to towards the end of it, and also look at your opponents and what they're likely to ban, so you don't accidentally ban something they may want to get rid of as well. And as dull as it sounds, tonight's games will be won before anyone steps foot in the server, so give the map veto phase the respect it deserves. And that's going to be all for today's pre-show. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be live with the games ever so shortly in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back, game 1 of the night, in just a few.